Disclaimer: I'm not a doctor, and more importantly, you are entirely responsible for your own actions and creating your reality. These videos are not intended for everyone. All can listen, but few will hear. Observe yourself when listening to these and see if the subject discussed resonates with you. Enjoy. How's it going? So this is a follow-up, if you like, to the previous video, or a previous video, the purpose of your life. And it's to flesh out, in a sense, the theory that we've been here hundreds or thousands of times. You know, how do we speed this up? How do we get the message? There's a lot of people stuck and a lot of people struggling. You know, especially in the West, we seem to have everything, but we're quite unhappy, quite frustrated. And a big part of that in another video before or after this video, I don't know when it'll come out, is on the intellect. And the intellect is a huge problem, as I'm seeing now. We live in a time with so much information, there's so much distraction. The intellect is having a field day, but we're not intellect. That's only a facet of who we are. So how can we get the message? The best way to get a message is basically to listen. I think you'll agree. And if you talk to any people, or most people who say are struggling or unhappy, they might have trouble listening. They have a lot of information. They think this and they think that, and they think they need this and they think they need that, and they think this is what's wrong with them, and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. And sometimes it can be, it's a barrage of information. Is the spirit of that person giving you that information? I don't think so. I think that's the mind. It's just a regurgitation of theories and ideas, and there might be a degree of truth in it, but it's not really who they are. So another point, we are a chemistry set. You know, we're pumping out chemicals all the time. And like when we go to work or when we go to a supermarket, we take the same route to work and we're on autopilot, and we get in the same train or we drive in the same route all the time, and we're asleep, you know. So our minds work like that. The brain works like that too. The neural nets of the brain, the receptors, it's just the same familiar routes. If you're unhappy in your job, or you don't like the supermarket you go to, you gotta fucking find a new supermarket. You gotta find a new route. You gotta break that cycle. You have to break that neural net. So you have to break that neural net of the brain that is constantly bringing you to whatever it is: struggle, depression, darkness, unhappiness, loneliness, whatever it is, whatever lower vibration thing it is. And there are means to do that. You know, there's a few means to do that. First of all, you know best what nurtures you. It might be drawing, it might be a walk in the park, swimming in the sea, something with nature, you know, being around your children, whatever. There could be something that actually, but maybe it's usually something you don't do. It's something you know that will lift your spirits, but you usually don't do enough of. So that's one thing. You need to make the effort to try and do that. Another is stillness, meditation, and observing. This is the easiest thing in the world to do. Nobody wants to do it. You know, especially in the West. There's so much shit around meditation, you know, so much baggage and nonsense. And due, I think, in part to all our Western information and technology and junk, we want everything to be big. I feel X. How are you going to get out of X? Well, I'm going to find a therapist and a gym and an instructor, and I'll buy this course of books that I'll work through, and I'll have a certificate. You know, all that shit. Who cares? Who cares? We want the most complicated. That's all the ego. That's all the intellect. You know, it's building a fucking house of information and of distraction and nonsense. Be still. Observe all the pain and discomfort. Look at it. Feel it. Sit in your body and let it pass. It's transient. I talk much more about this in the meditation course of the meditation introduction. There's a free meditation course on my website. I'll put a link below. So people meditate and they feel restless and maybe unhappy and irritable. They're fucking looking at the clock and so they think, oh, I can't meditate, or meditation doesn't work for me. That is meditation. That's the point of meditation. The shit that we've been told is that meditation will lead to you sitting on a mountaintop, blissful and your aura glowing and birds chirping and talking to you, and you're communicating with nature. Good luck with that. Maybe when you hit 2,500 lifetimes. But for the time being, let's just hope that you can get through the meditation. That's an achievement in itself. So to get to those places, we need to release all the trauma and the restlessness and the anxiety and all the unresolved emotions and unprocessed thoughts and emotions and feelings that we've fucking pushed down through this and maybe other lifetimes, and through this week and day, and fucking kids were screaming and the traffic was shit and all the stuff that we didn't really resolve. So all that's got to come up. And we see it, and a lot of people see it, and they think, this is ugly. I don't want to look at this. So they're happier to sit with a therapist and talk head stuff, intellectualizing fucking philosophy and stuff, which has nothing to do with the heart and nothing to do with feelings or releasing and basically stopping the fucking chemistry set working. So yeah, that's another idea. Be still and know that I am God. If we look back at the greats, at the enlightened ones, at the people who changed the world and the people who rose up, meditation and stillness was hugely important. Not iPhones, not philosophy. These people arrived at philosophy through their stillness and meditation. They then communicated philosophy and theory. Theory and philosophy does not enlighten people. You can regurgitate that shit till the fucking cows come home. You're not going to be enlightened. Read all the books. Doesn't matter. You'll go insane. Stillness and experience will grant you insights and peace that thus you can philosophize over if you want, or pass on to other people. There's a difference between feeling your pain or observing your pain and indulging in it and feeding it. The indulging in it usually has the mind's going, oh, nobody loves me, or shit, I can't get a job, or I can't pay my bills, or whatever it is. That cycle of it's just a cycle of the mind, the brain spitting out nonsense all the time and us believing it. That's different to observing the pain and quietening the mind, or just observing, letting it pass. There will be thoughts, they come and go, that's okay. It's just about getting into the right frame of mind that you can observe and you can identify what it is, and the penny will drop and you'll get it, bang, you move on to the next one. So there you go. I hope that was of use. Please share, subscribe, please thumbs up, because it does help the whole YouTube algorithm. And sign up to the newsletter below. There's more personal stuff that I would put in the newsletter that I don't put in the videos. We'll see what happens. Thanks for listening. Good luck and thanks. Bye.